Where do we have to go? Oh, it's really
I
close.
think it's down this way.
As long as it's
Nope.
no other way. It's over
No,
here. If you
other way.
open the map, it shows like dots.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so we'll have to go around the
This
stairs.
probably was on my last one, by the way.
Yeah. Oh wow, we're so much stronger now. Wait, maybe we can lift it. We can put it in the car.
I hate it here.
Oh. Nope. Put away the gun, Indy. Indy. Put away. No. No. Indy. She's gonna come whoop your ass. Hi.
Sometimes you gotta just eat. You gotta do it. I mean, I don't have to. I have.
No.
foods,
No.
usually, but
No.
I still, I mean, well, okay.
Okay, so we're looking
I'll
for this
see you
new
next
High on
time,
Life
or
store?
I'll be
Hopefully
dead,
the
maybe.
slums are a little more chill now that we took out Nine Torg.
Hey, you got a peso? Be so cool if you could just give me like 100 pesos.
Nope. Your leg
yeah,
is still off.
Hey, yeah. I get it. You don't want to talk to me. I'm the broken leg guy. Nobody wants to talk to the broken leg guy. I get it.
Your leg is still off, sir. Why? We already passed you. We passed you like hours ago. Why is your leg still off?
Hey.
Safely travel, puny man. I, Drogon von Strangle, very tough, very and obligatory action movie villain, and my kitty, Mr. Tulip Toes. I'm going to kidnap all the fairies in the world, and then, using my brilliant magic ciphering invention,
Wait, hold on.
I will suck the magic out of their pathetic fairy bodies. Right into my wand.
Okay, fine. You can go.
Timmy, help! He's taking our magic!
You just because you're your little gun.
No, I really want to shoot him.
Look how shootable I look. I look so shootable.
I want to shoot him. I want to shoot him.
I am not shooting a kid.
Go ahead, do it. Shoot me, fresh meat.
I
Shoot
wanna
me. See what
I wanna
happens.
shoot him.
Oh, don't I look so shootable? Ah, you shot me. I'm dead.
All right, there. Are you happy now? Well, I didn't think we'd be allowed to kill him. Normally, killing children in games isn't allowed, but He's dead. We killed this kid. Are you happy now? We killed a kid. A kid is dead now. There goes our E for everybody rating.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Verbal. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing? We are going to be doing a tech talk tonight. And I'm hoping that the people who wanted this done show up tonight. Tech talk was supposed to have been scheduled on April 25th. I had to move it to this week, to this Friday, because next Friday my oldest son has a spring concert that I'm going to be. Why are we still running the music like that? Sir, why are we? What is going on? You're supposed to be a little bit lower, I believe, Mr. Music Friend. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, my oldest son has got a spring concert this week that most likely I will not be streaming next Friday as a result, because it starts at 7 o'clock and it's going to run from like 7 until like 10. So I'm not necessarily going to be available. If I do stream, it's going to be later anyway. So that would not have been a good idea for a tech talk tonight. So I moved it, and I've been giving as much warning as possible. I've been talking about it every stream. I've been posting it on the Twitch stories. I've been doing everything that I can do to make sure that people know when this talk is. And I'm hoping people show up. But anyway, thank you for being here tonight. A couple things to go over real quick. First off, Saturday Morning Cartoons is going to be tomorrow morning, running from 9 a.m. until noon. And if you're joining me on my YouTube channels, unfortunately, I can't show Saturday Morning Cartoons there. YouTube is very strict about the content that they allow to go live, and even if you're uploading videos, they're very strict about it. I have a hell of a time getting the approval for all of my Intro Wars videos that I put up. So that's been a problem as well. So unfortunately, I cannot show Saturday Morning Cartoons on Twitch or on YouTube. I can show it on Twitch. So if you would like to join me for Saturday Morning Cartoons tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, you can join me here at twitch.tv/verbal_RD. And we're going to watch some great cartoons tomorrow. We watch 80s and 90s classic cartoons. There's retro commercials. It's a whole vibe in the morning. It's a good time. You should definitely stop by and join me. So as we're going to wait a little bit for people to kind of file in. You know, it usually takes everybody, like 10 or 15 minutes to actually get here before we start off with any of the questions for Tech Talk. While we're waiting, though, there was a new trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps that dropped. And it shows a lot more. And I'm getting a little bit more excited for this movie with each trailer that I see. I think this is the new trailer. Hold on a second. Let me double check and make sure that this is the new trailer. You know what? This may not be the new trailer. Oh no, this is the new trailer. Yeah. We actually get to see Mr. Fantastic stretchy powers, and we see the Silver Surfer. This iteration of the Silver Surfer, I'm super excited for. And I think there's like a shadow of Galactus, but at least it's got the right shape and it's not a tentacle blob in the sky. So while we're waiting for people to file in for tonight's stream, let's go and check out real quick the Fantastic Four trailer. The new one that dropped. That I'm very excited about. You got a rando 400 points? Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. So here, let's check this out together.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking? Okay. That's fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing's going to change.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know. There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family. Has to be us.
This is looking so good. There's the stretchy powers!
We will protect you.
Let's make some new friends.
Blank achievement unlocked. A penis. Achievement unlocked. Jeebus. Well, there we go. That was the new Fantastic Four. Couple quick things. First off, Sue Richards is pregnant. We know that that's going to end up being Franklin if it follows the comic book at all. Franklin is one of the more powerful mutants that's in the Marvel universe. So there's that. We got to see Mr. Fantastic stretchy powers, which is great. The Fantastic car was in there. New Silver Surfer. Can't wait for the new Silver Surfer. Galactus. We saw Galactus walking through those big ass feet. Was Galactus walking through the streets? The Planet Killer, the Planet Eater, was walking through the streets. Apparently everybody, I'm assuming that's New York City is what I'm assuming, right? And apparently everybody knows the origins of Fantastic Four at that point, and they did something where everybody feels grateful to the Fantastic Four for saving them. So there's definitely some backstory there that we don't know about yet. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Rhett. So there's some backstory that we're not aware of. Everyone knows the origins of the Fantastic Four. The Thing seems a little bit more gentle than he's been in previous iterations, where he's been pissed off because of how he looks and whatnot. This Thing seems to accept himself a little bit better and is a little bit more gentle, I guess is the best word that I could say. A little bit more gentle. So yeah, this is I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. I feel like it's going to be really good. I also feel like they're in a different universe, and if they're going to pull Doctor Doom into this movie and have Doctor Doom come into the MCU Earth, whatever version it is that the majority of the MCU has been taking place in, because I feel like this is a alternate Earth, because the Fantastic Four first off exist. It looks like it's 1960 something, 1970 something. So Fantastic Four exists. They saved the planet. Everyone's aware of their origin stories. We had none of that in previous Marvel movies. So this has got to be from another universe. And then they're going to pull Doctor Doom in, this variant of Doctor Doom being portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. They're going to pull this variant of Doom with them into the into the Prime MCU universe. So I can't wait for this. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be... I think this is going to be a better iteration of the Fantastic Four than we've seen in a long time. I do believe that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a better iteration of the Fantastic Four, and I'm here for it. I can't wait. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fun. Do you think I could body slam a ram? I have no idea. I don't know what you look like. Not really sure. Not really sure there, Rhett. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I can't wait. When does this come out again? It's like May? Is it May that it comes out? I think it is. I missed the... Did they have the... in theaters? Oh, I'm sorry. July 25th is when it comes out in theater. So yeah, my butt will be in the theater. My butt will be in the theater waiting for that. Waiting. It will be fun. It will be a good time. Let's see what else is going on. So I know previous stream, I think my daughter and I were talking about doing a collaborative Schedule 1. And depending on how things go tonight, depending on how the tech talk goes tonight, and like I said, I'm just kind of waiting a little bit for people to show up, that's all. We might be able to do something. Let's see here. Let's see. Texting the kiddo. Seeing what her availability is tonight. Do I think the mangrove trees grow like that, or did the dirt wash out from underneath? That's a really random question. I don't know enough about mangrove trees, to be honest with you. Are those the ones that have like the arching roots that kind of look like they are standing up above the ground? I don't know. No idea. No idea. Oh, there's Blue. Blue! Blue, do you know if Soul and if King and Kat know that I'm doing this tonight and not the 25th? Are you aware if they were privy to all of the times that I've talked about and put up the Twitch stories and whatnot? Because I know that they had some questions particularly. Yeah, they sit about the water like that though. Yeah, I have read. I have no idea. I don't know how they grow. Not a clue. Blue. Yeah, I'm thinking Blue. If the tech talks kind of die off a little earlier than I was anticipating, then maybe we'll start up a collab. Schedule 1. I started a spreadsheet. I have started a spreadsheet of some of my better mixes, and this is also so I don't have to like constantly reference photos on my phone or some shit or whatever, but I have started up a spreadsheet to keep track of my mixes, the asking price that I asked for them. I know I made fun of your spreadsheet. That's what I was thinking about when I was doing this. My wife was playing Supermarket Sim, and she had this huge ass spreadsheet set up of, I don't know, I've never played that game, so I don't know what she was spreadsheeting. But yeah, I did kind of poke fun at her a little bit, and then when I sat down and started putting together this spreadsheet today, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh man, my wife is gonna have a field day with me. Field day with me when I tell her about this. So I just started the spreadsheet, okay? I haven't really dived too deeply into it. But one of the things I want to grab is like what the effects of each of these are. So if I'm looking for a particular strain of something to do certain effects, I can record what the effects are. But yeah, no, I created a freaking spreadsheet, and I'm gonna start writing these down. Kit Kat! I was worried that you didn't see the notification about the fact that the 25th was not gonna work for me for a tech talk because, my oldest son has a spring concert that night, starting at 7. And if you remember anything from that school and their spring concerts, they last a while. No, I said oldest son. Oldest son. Not only son. I have 2 sons. So they're slating it to run from 7 until 10. And you know how the music teacher likes to talk at the end of the year forever. So I'm expecting not being able to stream on Friday the 25th. So I've been promoting it all week long, correcting it since Sunday. Yeah, she really does talk forever in the spring. So I was putting up Twitch stories and whatnot, reiterating the fact that the date has been moved from the 25th to tonight. So we're doing our tech talk tonight. But yeah, I was just talking to Blue too that we might, depending on how long the tech talk runs, we may end up doing a collaborative schedule 1. And I have been making a spreadsheet of my more profitable mixes of stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So, uh-oh. What happened? Am I still alive? Oh, that was really weird. Everything froze for a moment. Like my video stream froze, everything froze for a moment. I don't know why. But anyway, looks like we're okay. So, welcome King, welcome Kit Kat. Slam, thanks for being here. Chaos, Red, Blue, thank you everybody for being here and showing up early. I'm hoping that there will be some other people that'll be coming in as well. And yeah, it was bugging. Yeah, I don't know what happened. That was really weird. Like, it just froze for a moment on my screen, and I'm just like, what's going on? Don't crash already. I restarted my computer, damn it. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? I didn't do a preemptive flashbang. Hold on. Let me do that right now. Alright, here we go. This is like self-pain, you know what I mean? Self-pain. It's all self-pain. That gets so bright. That gets so bright. Alright, anyway. So here we are. Yeah, King is here too. Welcome everybody to the Tech Talk. My name is Verbal. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about everything. And I'm here to answer whatever questions that you may have regarding your tech, or the stuff that you do, or the stuff that you would like to do. Whatever it may be. So if you know, whatever questions that you may have, definitely ask them in chat. I will do my best to answer them. I even have a fun little, let me see if this works. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Yep, that's up and running. Let's see if this is working. I even have, ooh, god dang it, I hit my microphone. I even have a fun little, maybe not. Maybe it's not working? Oh no, there it is. Yeah. See, I even have a fun little little whiteboard where I could draw things out and we could talk about it. How do we build a bat cave? Oh, Devilish had a couple of questions, but he hasn't responded yet. Well, we'll be here like all night, doing this all night. That's the thing. So what are your questions? What kind of, that is pretty cool, isn't it? What kind of questions does everybody have in regards to anything related to tech? This could be parts for your computer, or how does a certain thing work in your computer, or streaming wise, like how do you set up a certain thing for streaming, or if you want to know more information about like how your home internet works, stuff like that. You know, what's the best piece of equipment to get for X situation? Start dropping in your questions and let me know. I know the one thing that we were talking about that kind of kicked all this off was discussing about your home internet and your bandwidth that you have available to you, and how everything within your home. Would you like me to start with that? And then maybe that may spur some other questions. Would you like me to start with how your home internet functions in regards to all of your peripherals that you may have attached to your network? Is that where you would like me to start? Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. So let me put it this way. Ooh. I gotta come down here and clean my desk mat. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you have a 300 MB download. That is not where it's supposed to be positioned. Hold on a second. That is not where it's not supposed to be positioned across my face. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can fix this. Whiteboard. Where's the whiteboard position? Well, alright. What if we were to take this up and then recenter that? That's still not quite where I'm writing on it, but I guess that'll be okay. Alright. Lock that back in place. And then we'll exit that and we'll go here. Excellent. Okay. So let's back this up. Alright. So you've got a 300 meg download speed, right? And you have a 20 meg upload speed. Okay? That's what we're working with right there. We got a 300 meg download, we have a 20 meg upload, okay? What does that exactly mean? Well, 300 download means that is the rate in which you can download from the internet. So you can download up to a 300 meg file. I forget if it's megabits per second or megabits per, I forget, whatever it is. That's the speed in which you can upload. Now, when we're talking about speeds, understand, okay, that you are going to lose about 10% of your upload speed. You're just going to lose that. Okay? It's just going to be lost. So a 300 meg down, you may actually be looking more at anywhere between 270 to 250. All right. That may be more of what you're looking at as far as what your actual speeds are going to be. It's about 270 to about 250 down. Now your upload speed, that's what your computers are sending out to the internet. So in the case of gaming, in the case of streaming, your upload speed is incredibly important for those particular types of things. Whereas they're not necessarily important if you are streaming a movie from Netflix, right? Or you're watching live TV, or you're watching YouTube. That's your download speed. Anything that's being brought to you, that's where you fall into your download speed. Anything that you are sending out to the internet, that's where your upload speed falls into. So, for instance here, if you have, for streaming purposes, okay? For streaming, let's say that you stream out at 6 MB, or when you set up OBS, you're streaming out at 6,000 kilobits. Okay, that's 6 meg. So you have a 20 meg upload speed. So right away, think of your internet. Hello, let's not do that. Think of your internet speed as a pie chart, right? And this is going to be a total of, that's your 20 meg right there. Of course, it's off the screen, which is great. So that's your 20 meg right there. Okay, so a portion of this, let's say this much right here, that's your 6 meg. That's your 6 meg upload right there, right? But then you've also got all these other peripherals. You've got, let's say you have a Roku. You've got, let's say you have a doorbell cam, right? You've got however many computers in the house, right? Each of these things is going to start taking a slice of your upload speed, especially if they're active at that time. So you may have 20 meg that you're dealing with, but after that 6 meg, now you're dealing with 14, right? Now that's chicken scratch galore right there. I don't even know what that is. Now you're dealing with 14. Now you're dealing with 14 meg after your 6 meg upload for your OBS, right? And then you've got a computer and say you're playing a video game. Say you're playing Fortnite, right? Anticipate about another 6 meg there. So now we're knocking the 6 meg down even further. Now we're down to about 8 meg. Oh my gosh. Tablet's a good idea, but sometimes it's not. So now you're down to 8 meg because you got 12 meg that you're already putting out. 6 for your stream, 6 for Fortnite, right? It's 12 there. 12 taken out of your 20 meg slice of pie there. Well, now you got 8 left for everything else in your home that may be connecting and downloading and uploading stuff to the internet. So if you've got somebody else on another computer somewhere that is, well, okay. So If you have somebody else on another computer somewhere that's gaming as well, now they're taking another slice of the pie. Depending on what game that they're playing, they could be taking anywhere between 4 and 6 meg there. Now we're looking at like 18 meg that you need at that particular instance on a 20 meg slice. You start to see how this all starts to build up over time. You may not think about all of these things that are in your home. For instance, I've got a Plex server. I have 2 other servers sitting in my room. I have this computer. My wife has a laptop. Both my boys have laptops. We all have phones. We have Ring cams around the house. I've got Alexa-controlled lights and whatnot. All of this stuff is using bits of my upload speed. At some point in time, you're going to exceed, if you're on standard, if you're on standard coax cable internet, you could be potentially exceeding your upload speed. And where is that going to suffer then? Well, you're going to start seeing lag occurring in your games, or you're going to start seeing dropped frames in your OBS streaming. That's where you're going to start running into those kind of issues. If you're experiencing lag while you're playing video games, check your internet speed. Make sure that you are getting the appropriate speeds that you're supposed to be getting. Hold on here, I'm just trying to figure out how to erase everything at one time. Clear canvas. There we go. Yep, clear canvas. So you got so definitely make sure that you are getting your proper internet speeds. How do you go and check your internet speeds? Well, there's a couple different sites that you can go to that are real easy to use, real simple. Okay. I will show you one of them right now. So you can go to Speed Test. Just type Speed Test into Google or Edge or whatever it is that you're using. Go to Speed Test, and this is you just click the Go button, and this will test out your speeds. Now, we have fiber running here. We have 2 gig fiber. Maybe my computer's running slow. We have 2 gig fiber running here. So my download speeds should be, closer to a gig where it's not currently. But you're going to see my upload speeds. My upload speeds are actually closer to that gig speed that I was expecting right there. So I have plenty of headroom. I can physically... Absolutely, that guy. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be here. I have headspace for days in my upload speed. I have no problem at all. I will have no problem at all streaming multiple streams and doing whatever it is that I need to do on this computer. Yeah, it was lagging a little bit. I think it's my computer. But you could definitely go and check your speeds and find out if you are actually getting the speeds that you are paying for. So I think the last time that I checked with Comcast, before I left Comcast, we had 1 gig down to 40 meg up. With cable internet, it's weird because how they can't do the same speed bi-directional. You always get a faster download speed. And that's what they always advertise. But being a streamer, being a gamer, that upload speed is definitely more important to us than the download speed is. 40, I think, is probably the top of what they currently offer. So you may be stuck with that unless you go with something like a fiber connection. If you use Glow Fiber or Brightspeed, or what was the other one? There's another one that was out there that was doing fiber, and I can't think of who it is now. And here's the other interesting thing that I found out recently. I knew this was true with DSL. I didn't realize. Good evening, Boomer. I knew this was true with DSL. I didn't realize this was the same with cable internet. So if you've got cable internet, okay? So we got a pipe of cable internet. Okay? And this is your line that's on your street. Your house is here. And you have a line going to your house, okay? if there are other lines before you, so we have a house here, we have a house here, we have a house here, there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here, right? And each of these has their own lines that are before you. However many houses that you have on your line, your speed will decrease the longer down the line that you are. So, and especially during like peak hours, like, you know, think 5-ish, 6 o'clock till like 9, 10 o'clock at night are the peak hours. You may notice a drop in your internet because you have all of these other houses that are before you in that single line of cable connection. It will drop as it goes along. Joe Butler, good evening, welcome, thank you for stopping by. So yeah, your speed, you know, the further you go down your line here, your speed till it gets to your house may not be 100% all the speed that you were granted. If you have a fiber line, the fiber line runs directly from whatever hub to your house. You have a direct connection basically, and fiber can definitely take a lot more data at that point in time too, going forward and backwards, down and up. It holds a lot, it can run through a lot more data. So you don't have as much of you don't have any kind of like loss of speed or anything like that when you have fiber, which is why everybody's like, oh, you gotta get fiber, it's so much better. And honestly, it kind of is, right? It really kind of is. We've had fiber now for, I forget how long, but we've had fiber for a while, probably about like maybe 3 or 4 months now, and I absolutely love it. I have not had an issue of serious, dropped speed. I haven't complained about dropped speed for a while, and at this point in time, if anything is dropping, it's because the cable from my switch in my closet to my PC can only handle the 1 gig speed. Once I upgrade to Cat 6 cable running from my switch to my computer, which can handle 2 gig speed, or what is it, 1.6 something maybe is what it can, I think it's 2 gigs is what it can handle. Then I'll be able to get the full speed coming into my computer once I upgrade from Cat 5e to Cat 6, which is a planned upgrade. Had I had the money when we bought this house and I was doing all my networking, I would have put Cat 6 in, but that was expensive at the time too. What was this dumb settings I told you to check? Hold on here. Let's do this. Ready?
Is Upgrading and Repairing PCs by Scott Mueller a good book for getting into IT?
To be honest, Joe, I'm not 100% sure. I've not read that book. I will have to add that to my Amazon list. Any book that you read that can give you good information is always a good one. But more importantly, what I have found working in IT these past 6 years, in corporate IT these past 6 years, I've been working in IT for probably about 20 in some way, shape, or form, unofficially. I have found that real world experience is so much better than what you can get book learned. Okay, for certain things. When I went to apply for my job, for corporate IT with a corporation, they were more interested. I don't have any kind of formal education. Okay, I'm mostly self-taught, or I have taken sporadic programs at the local community college or specialty like New Horizon kind of thing. I've taken courses there for some specific things. But I've not had any kind of formal training. I don't have any kind of initials after my name or anything like that for any kind of certification. But what I had real world experience. I was working in an environment for 13 years and I was kind of shoved into IT because I was the computer guy. And I learned on the fly. I learned on the job. Real world experience was way more valuable for me than anything that I could have gotten a certification for, because I was in the trenches at that point in time. I went through this stuff. So when I applied for my corporate job in IT, they were more interested in my real world experience. They gave me like real world scenarios and they were like, what would you do in these situations? You know, if this happened, and I'd be like, well, I would go through this step and then this step and this step and this step. And the reason why I knew that was because I had done things like this previously. My best advice to you, if you want to get into PC building, PC repairing, upgrading, troubleshooting, that kind of thing, buy a broken computer and fix it. That's my best advice. Get your hands dirty. Get in the guts of the computer, get your hands dirty, fix a broken computer. Like if one of your friends or something like that like, totally bricked their computer or borked it good enough, like take it off their hands. If they're getting rid of it, take the broken computer and sit down with it and try to figure out, all right, so it boots up, but you get this blue screen. Why does that happen? What happens if I reinstall the operating system? Does it function then? If it's not a software issue, if it's hardware and it doesn't even start, why does it not start? You know, is it a power source? Is it the motherboard that's bad? Is it the wiring that's bad? Could it be the CPU, the RAM? You can go through all these troubleshooting steps. When I started off, you know, kind of, self-teaching myself all this stuff, I bought a broken computer and I fixed it because I wanted to figure out how to do that, because I didn't want to sit on with frickin' HP tech support ever again, because that was a joke. That was a joke. But yeah, as far as that book goes, I'm gonna have to look up that book. Oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to do that. Pardon my ADHD brain as I fly all over the place. Let me look at this book. What is this again? Upgrading, or actually, let me look by the name. Scott Mueller. Boomer, I'm going to get to your question here in a second. I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Scott Mueller. Is it called Upgrading and Repairing PCs? Upgrading. Yeah, there it is. Upgrading and Repairing PCs. $71 book. Jesus. 22nd edition is $71. He's got one for PCs and laptops. Yeah, laptops are fun to try to troubleshoot and whatnot. I mean, the only thing I could suggest that you do if you're looking at different books to read, go look at the reviews. Seriously, look at the reviews, especially if it's on Amazon or whatever. Look what other people are saying about the book. I've never personally read this book at all, but just by glancing through these reviews right now, it's, I mean, you know, still a fantastic read. Book's got a lot of great information in it. Back paint, well spent money. Definitive resource for building or upgrading computers. I mean, you know, you got to make sure you get the current edition, obviously, because technology, that's the other thing. The one downside with books is technology is constantly changing. So as technology changes, and technology could change, you know, it might take 6 months for something to change, or it could take less than 3 weeks for something to change. So you're always going to be chasing that rabbit of new tech that's coming out. I would say, yeah, no, this isn't a bad book to read. It's an investment. you're probably not going to be buying every edition of this book, if I'm being honest with you. But it's not a bad read, it looks like. I mean, I've been building computers for like over 20 years now. I've been building computers, my own computers and computers for other people. And I found like online resources, articles that I could read and you know, but I haven't picked up a book like that for a while.
What was that one dumb setting you told me to mess with for the Nick card?
So Boomer, the dumb setting that I told you to mess with the Nick card. So here's where you go. You want to go to your network. So you can go to network device list. Nope, that's not where you want to go. That's not the thing I wanted. I wanted network. View network connections. That's what I wanted. View network connections. And you're going to look for your active network connection. Okay.
Hello there.
So this is mine.
General Kenobi.
You're going to right click on that. You go to properties. And let's see here. Why isn't my... Hello? Why is my Zoomy thing not working properly? All right, anyway, you want to go to your Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IPv4. Go to properties again. Nope, not properties again. We're going to go to configure. And then under advanced, so you go to configure, then advanced, and then you're going to scroll down here until you find speed and duplex. And what you're going to want to do is you want to set this to your highest setting that you have. So if you've got a 1 gig, you only have a 1 gig NIC card, then that's going to be your top setting. If you have a 2.5 gig NIC card, then that'll be your top setting. But what you want to do is don't let it sit on auto negotiate. Because what that's going to do is that's going to, if you're not receiving that much data from your router or from your modem or whatever, then it may drop you down to like 100 meg full duplex or 100 meg half duplex. And you're only getting 100 meg delivered to your computer. Whereas if you tell it, hey, I want the full 1 gig full duplex, well, then now you're opening up basically the entire bandwidth there and allowing a full 1 gig if you have it. There you go. There you go. And then you just click on OK, and it's going to disconnect your internet on that computer for a little bit. It'll reset it. And then when it comes, it might take a couple minutes for your internet connection to come back. And then once it does, then you should be able to be pulling in that full. You should be able to pull in that full speed. Yeah, I have a question about making Minecraft server as well. I've got a question about that too. Can I enlighten you on fuel injection after the Wi-Fi topic? Don't know fuel injection. Sorry. When I say tech talk, I'm talking about like, you know, the technology that you work with, your computers, your phones, your tablets, your Wi-Fi router, stuff like that. That's the stuff that we're talking about here tonight. I don't know anything about cars really that I feel comfortable talking about aside from like, you know, the basic stuff.
So I have a question about making a Minecraft server. XD.
Are you questioning when I'm gonna put up my Minecraft server? Is that what I was just talking actually to my son about this. My youngest son about this, and I told him, I said, I really need to sit down and just put up the Minecraft server that I was talking about doing on one of my servers. I said, and it's not like it's super difficult or anything like that at all. It's just, I gotta take the time to do it. I gotta sit down with it and be able to just, you know, set it up and get the information out for it. So if that's what you're asking me, King, I apologize that it's taken so long. I know we talked about it a long time ago. I'm working on it. Is that what your question was? Fuel injection has a lot of tech, but that's not the tech that we're talking about, Rhett. That's not the kind of tech that I'm talking about, that I do tech talks on. That's automotive tech. I don't know much automotive tech. Not really. I have general concepts and theories, and that's it. Whereas computer related, IT related, stuff along, video game related, those kind of things, I'm better apt at answering those kind of questions than automotive tech. No, you're trying to make a modded server. Oh! Okay, so you're trying to make a modded server.
For a modded server, you need to pick your mods, set up a launcher like Forge or Fabric, and configure your server settings. Need any specific
Verbot, do I
help?
need even to be here? Verbot, do I even need to be here at all, or are you just going to answer all the questions? So what's the question on the modded server? I'll try to answer what I can. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't looked a whole ton into the Minecraft servers. But we can learn together. There's the server download. I know, Verbot is stealing my job. Seriously. Like, what the hell? So what are you running your Minecraft server on? Is the bigger question. So from what I'm looking here real quick, damn, Verbot is pretty much on fucking point, let me tell you. You need to install a mine loader like Forge or Fabric, and then add the desired mods to both the server and the client. You can host the server yourself on your own computer or use a dedicated hosting service. Main question you have about is port forwarding. I tried to do it on your main PC, but it wouldn't let anybody connect. So port forwarding is, so with port forwarding, there's a couple things that has to happen with port forwarding. I don't know what router that you have. I know what router I have. I know the port forwarding that I've done on my computer. And I don't have any problems in showing this information because this is all internal and you can't do anything with the internal information. But I'm not going to show you my password to log in though. Because I can't type my password because apparently I don't remember my password. Hey, there's my password. All right, so let's go here. We'll talk about this real quick. Well, no. It's not necessary. So, you're using a Verizon router. Okay, so when it comes to port forwarding, I've never set it up on a Verizon Comcast owned router, like one of their own. And I'm not even 100% sure you can successfully. I've always done port forwarding directly on my own owned router. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to set up your computer with a static IP. First off and foremost. And I would suggest reserving, if you're able to, reserving that IP address within your router. So underneath of my DHCP server, okay, right here, underneath my DHCP server, I have a number of IP addresses, internal IP addresses that are all reserved in my network for a number of different things. I have a entire network map where I allow the DHCP server to hand out addresses between these certain ranges, and then below those ranges, I have reservations set up for certain things. So, first off, you should make a reservation figure out what you want your IP address to be on your PC, okay? Then go and make a reservation for it. How do you make a reservation? Well, first off, once you figure it out, you can go into address reservation. You can't even see what I'm saying. You can go into your address reservation in your DHCP server. Okay. You need to set that reservation there. You don't necessarily need to set it on your PC because you will need your MAC address. Okay, MAC address is very important. Caffeine! Oh wait. I have some. you need to know what your MAC address is. Okay, see this little weird thing right here? This 70-90-29- or this thing? That's your MAC address. Every device has its own specific MAC address. First couple two number digit letter combos, first, was it 2 or 3, is the identifier for the manufacturer, and then the rest of it is an individual address assigned to that particular item. Every MAC address, you can have 2 of the exact same items. You can have 2 of the same devices. Like I have 2 Elgato key lights here. Okay, Keylight Air, which is, there's one right here, right? That's got the MAC address that ends in 0D. And then if I go back, I have another Elgato Keylight Air, and that MAC address ends in 6E. So you can have the same exact devices, different MAC addresses. This is how your network can tell like what device is what device when you're telling it, I want you to do something to this particular device. Okay? So you need to set up a reservation, an IP reservation within your router for your device, but you're going to need your MAC address. Now you're going to ask me, Verbal, where do I get my MAC address from? You're going to hack my lights? Go for it. Try. You need to know my external IP address first. So to get your MAC address, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to your Windows Start menu, wherever that is, click in the search bar, type in CMD, open up a command prompt.
Throwing flashbang.
And then you're going to type it. Oh. It worked. I will wait for Professor to come back. Because he's got ads right now. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for hacking that, Boomer. I appreciate that. What do you mean I can't? What are you talking about? I can't what? I'm waiting for the ads to end. If I miss your question, by the way, I can't see. Oh, got it. Got it. Yeah, it's a little. I have blobs. I have blobs in my face. I have blobs in my face right now. Hold what? Oh!
I'm back, baby.
Boomer Warfare, 54-month resub. Thank you, my friend. You are the GOAT. You are amazing. You are the man. Thank you for being here. We waited for you, Professor. We waited for you. Okay, so what did you miss? Where did I cut off on you? Did you get the command prompt part? We're gonna find the MAC address. Did you get this part? If you did, go down to your start menu, type in CMD. Okay, so start menu, CMD. Go to command prompt. You can open it up as administrator. It doesn't matter if you open it up as administrator or not. Just open up command prompt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to type in ipconfig /all. Okay? This is going to puke out a whole bunch of information here. It's going to give you your host name. It's going to tell you all kinds of fun stuff. It'll give you your IP address. So this is my internal IP address here. It'll give you your gateway, whatever your gateway is. Should be 192.168.1.1. What we're looking for right here is the physical address. This right here. This is your MAC address. That's your MAC address. That's what you want to record on the device that you want to port forward to. Okay? You want to make the reservation a static IP address. That's what you're going to need. So you get this information. That's not going to do you any good. And you see here where this says, preferred. That's because I have a reservation for my computer's IP address, internal IP address, in my DHCP server, in my router. I don't have this statically assigned on the computer itself. I let my DHCP server do that. That's why it says preferred. So write down that physical address. Depending on your router, you may have to write it out. Excellent. To my physical mailbox? So depending on your router, you may have to type out your IP address like this with semicolons. Semicolons? Is that what that is? Semicolon? Colon? I don't remember what that is. So you may have to type it out like this, okay? Or it may have to be with the dashes. So it would be 45-7 whatever dash whatever dash whatever dash whatever dash whatever. It all depends on your router. I can't tell you which way that's going to be, but either you're either going to be using the semicolon or you're going to be using, or the colon, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know if it's semicolon, colon. I don't know. The two fucking dots. Either you're using the two fucking dots or you're using the dash. It's either doot doot or it's one of those. Okay, so it's a colon. Thank you, Kit Kat. I can never remember. I can't even remember which one's the / and which one's the \, okay? I don't remember. I just know what I need to type in. But anyway, so depending on that, you're going to go then to your router. No, my ass is a colon. What? You're gonna go there. You're going to go into your address reservation. You're going to go into your address reservation. You're going to set this up. You can option there probably to give it a device name. You're going to write in the MAC address, and then you're going to pick your IP address that you're going to assign to that particular computer. Once you do that and you save in your router, then you're going to restart your computer or disconnect your Ethernet cable and plug in your Ethernet cable again. You could do that instead of restarting your computer. You could just unplug your Ethernet cable and then plug it back in. And that will have it reach out to the router and get its new IP address, and that's where you're going to live. Oh, man. 15 terabytes? That's not bad. My Plex server, the one drive I have set up is 20 terabytes, and then I have another 12 for cartoons. Anyway, so once you get your IP address set up, okay, then there should be a section within your router for routing. And all you're going to do is you're going to have the network destination. You're going to set up a new static routing, right? So you click on here, and then network destination, subway mask. This field is required. Yeah, I can't show you any of this without physically creating something. Stop. Or no, routing is. I'm sorry. No, routing is different. This is routing for my switch, not my computer switch, my network switch. What you need here is we need port forwarding, not NAT forwarding, or it's going to be called port forwarding or something along that line, right? So you see here I have a couple things set up for Valheim. So you name your service and what the delivery address is going to be. This is the address of the computer that is running your Minecraft server. So under port forwarding, I'm hoping it is too. So you need to know what external ports are going to be open, and what external and possibly internal ports are going to be open for the Minecraft server. That's documentation that's going to be when you're setting up the Minecraft server. For my Valheim stuff, I know that I need to go between port 2456 and 2458 for my one server. And then for my second server that I have, I go between port 3456 and 3458. And that is all set up within the startup file for my Valheim servers. If you have, this next part I have found sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. You may have a section here, like when I click on this, you may have a section here, the protocol, all, meaning it will do both TCP and UDP. Sometimes this works. Sometimes you have to make separate entries, as I had to do with my Valheim servers. I had to make a separate UDP entry and a separate TCP entry. It's the same information. So if you look here, 2456 to 2458 for this one here is the same here under my TCP. And I also named them differently. So one of them is Valheim 2 UDP and Valheim TCP. The difference is the protocol in which it's communicating. I know there's a technical explanation for what it actually means. Let's see here. UDP TCP explanation. My God, if I could spell correctly. TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. There you go. There you go. So TCP is Transmission Control Protocol. UDP is User Diagram Protocol. But like Godzilla just said, UDP is broadcast. TCP is single. So you would need to set up your port forwarding. Like I said, sometimes you can do an all command and it will work and it will cover both of those. If that's not functioning, set up a single entry for both. As long as you have the port number for your Minecraft server, that the port that you are expecting traffic to come in on, you need that information. You need the address for the device that you are port forwarding to. So for instance, if you set up your Minecraft server to be on a computer that's 192.168.1.15, then you need to put in 192.168.1.15. And then if your port is 12345 to 12346, you know, per the instructions from the software for the Minecraft server, then that's the port information that you need to enter as well. As long as you have all that information set there properly, then you're golden. Then the only thing that you need to do is find out what your well, I know with Valheim anyway, I had to find out what my external IP address was, because that's the information that I needed to give out to my users who were going to connect to that server. So I need to know my external IP, and then / what the port number is that you're expecting that traffic to come in on. Usually there's documentation with a lot of these in-house servers that you can run for games like this that will give you the exact way that you need to set up this information. But if you're looking for what your external IP address is, I'm not going to show you mine, but you can you can Google search what's my IP, and it'll take you to a site that will give you what your external IP address is. You have an internal IP address that works within your network, and you have an external IP address that speaks to the world. Your internal IP address is always going to begin with 192, or it's going to begin with 10, or it's going to begin with, what's the other one? There's another one designated for like residential. 192 is the typical one. 10 is usually enterprise. So think like your businesses and whatnot. I think it was like maybe 170 is another network mask to start out with that's been designated for like residential. But yeah, it's most likely 192, and you're fine at leaving it at 192.168. So that's the easy way. Bruise. That's the easy way to do port forwarding. It's all going to depend on what your router is able to do. You having a Verizon router, I'm not 100% sure how much control you have over that as far as like things that you can set up. That's why I prefer to have my own equipment personally. And plus I'm not paying for the equipment either. So I hope that it helps a little bit at least. If you have further questions, King, you know you can reach out to me later on the side, and I can like set up a remote session and help you out that way as well, needed. There was another question. What was it? If I have missed your question, I apologize. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can do a question queue where I can see these, and then yeah, be able to do that. Somebody asked about. I'm sorry, if you asked a question and I have not answered it yet, and it is tech related, IT, tech, gaming kind of related, please do the question again. Because I'm searching here through... Oh, Buttons was asked about thinking of doing a backup server. Was that a serious question, Buttons? Like, I'm just asking, because you started off with a Tesla coil. How do you build a Tesla coil? Do you want to know how to build a Tesla coil? I'm going to suggest Google that shit. YouTube that shit. That will definitely be a better way. Is it better to build? Okay, here we go.
Is it better to build or buy a PC for under 1K?
So, this is kind of a double-sided question, so to speak. There's pros and cons to both of those. If you're buying a PC for under 1K, most likely whomever you're buying it, like if it's like a pre-built, like you're buying it from Dell, HP, or iBuyPower, or something, you know, something along those lines, right? Getting it off of Amazon or something, and it's for under 1K. They probably have the buying power to get discounts on parts in bulk prices, okay? Which is why they're able to deliver those kind of things.
Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot, 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 booty, booty, scoot, 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 booty, booty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty.
Which is why it's probably better. You know what? I tell you what. I'm actually going to turn off the Channel Point Redemptions for right now. Which is probably why it's better, or why they're able to deliver a PC at that price. Now, what I would suggest to you is definitely pay attention to the parts that are being used. The advantage to building your own PC is you know the parts that are going into that PC. You know exactly what it is that you're buying. Whereas with a pre-built system, if you're buying from Amazon or iPower or Walmart.com or something like that, you may not necessarily know all of the parts that are in there. It'll tell you that it's running. They'll give you information on the processor. They'll give you information on how much RAM, but they won't tell you what motherboard that they put in there. They won't tell you what type, what the manufacturer of the RAM was that they put in there. They'll tell you it's a 1 terabyte hard drive. Sometimes you may get it's a Western Digital or it's a Seagate or, you know, something along those lines. Sometimes you may not, so you don't know what hard drive that they put into that machine. They'll tell you it's a 650 watt or 750 watt power supply, but you won't know where it came from. So the positive of buying a pre-built is you could probably get it within your budget as long as you pay attention to the parts that are being placed in the computer for a decent price, but you may not know everything that's gone into the computer. On the other side of this, building your own, you know exactly what it is that you're putting in there, all the parts. But the prices may be a little bit higher because of the fact that you don't have that buying power. So you're buying single pieces, you're not buying in bulk, right? So your prices may be higher and you're at the mercy of a fluctuating market. Day to day the prices can change, especially currently. So that 1K budget, you may be able to find a computer that fits you better under a pre-built, but you may not know everything that's in it. Or you make some sacrifices and know exactly what you're putting in your computer and keep you under budget. What is good for parts? Places that I like to go to for parts. First off, first place that you should definitely go to is what's the name of that? Oh, it's so the first place that I suggest going to is PCBuilder.com. Okay? PC Builder, no. PC Builder. Now, take the .com off of it, damn it. Just do a Google search. PCPartsPicker.com. PCPartsPicker.com. What you could do on this site is you can plug in, so you can start your build, right? And you can plug in what CPU it is that you want, and you can filter down through. So if you have an idea of what CPU that you're looking for instance, let's just say I'm going to do a Ryzen 7 9800 X3D. This will start tailoring the pieces to your PC to make sure that you're buying compatible pieces, right? So then it's going to bring up motherboard, and these are all going to be the compatible motherboards for the AMD Ryzen 7 9800 3XD. So let's just say I want to go with this MSI Mag 8 X70 Tomahawk, right? And then memory. Well, then it's going to drop me into the exact memory that this motherboard can take. So PC Builder is really great for if you're trying to make sure that all of your parts will function together properly. It will also tell you, by the time that you're done building the entire thing, it'll give you an estimated wattage right here. Let's see here. Nope, that's not the button. Right here, estimated wattage, okay? So it's going to tell you what your estimated wattage is that your PC is going to run at, so you can make sure that you're buying the right power supply for it. Okay? It'll also give you compatibility warnings. If there are compatibility warnings, then you can click on the details below and see which ones are compatible and which ones aren't. This is great for when you have an idea of like some of the parts that you may want to use, but you're not exactly sold on any particular one at that point in time. You're looking at, say for instance, G-Skill RAM as opposed to Corsair RAM. Or you're looking at a AMD Ryzen 7 versus an AMD Ryzen 9 versus an Intel i7, whatever the fuck they have, right? This site here is good for making sure that all your parts are compatible and what your wattage is going to be, so you're buying an appropriately powerful power supply. Where I would actually go for the parts, I would start at newegg.com. This is where I start all my virtual builds from. When I'm like, I have to do a virtual build for my daughter's fiance soon, and this is where I'm going to start. You can come in here and you can go to PC processor, CPU desktop. I always start with your processor because you're going to build everything else around your processor. So you find out what processor it is that you want, and then you find the motherboard, which then leads you to finding the RAM that you want. And then it's video card, storage, hard drives, and then fans and other stuff. So you can go down here through, you can read the reviews. This is set up like Amazon as well. I would suggest you can create, like if you register with them, you can create virtual builds. I would suggest doing that. Okay, Rhett, take it easy. Have a good night. I would suggest virtually building, like putting it into a wish list or something like that, so you can keep track of all your parts, and then go back to PC Builder and input those parts into PC Parts Picker and make sure that everything is compatible. Then you go looking for better prices. Copy and paste the information and throw it into like either Google or throw it into Amazon and see where you can find the better prices. Okay. The part that's going to hurt you the most, I'm going to tell you this right now, is going to be your video card. I was trying to build for somebody, and literally they wanted what did they want? An RTX 4080. It was going to cost half of the entire build. We were looking at like $1,200 for the video card itself. Or no, Boomer, well, I was helping Boomer put this together. It was going to be like $1,200 to $1,500 for the video card itself for a 4080. And I'm like, no, drop it down to a 4060. Unless you're competitive gaming, you're not going to see the difference between a 4080 and a 4060. And you're saving yourself like $1,000 right there. So drop it down. So you're going to have to be frugal at this point in time right now, looking for parts, because with everything that's going on right now, with tariffs and whatnot. I used to, if they were local. I don't build and ship. I don't get into that. And I rarely build computers for anybody anymore unless it's like someone I personally know. Mainly because of the fact that people get it in their head that when you build their computer for them, you are full-time, 24/7, forever tech support. And if anything goes wrong, if anything goes wrong with it, you are that tech support and it is your fault and it's your responsibility. And I used to do that back in the day. I don't do that anymore. You could definitely look up on like YouTube and whatnot for tutorials on how to build computers. It's one of those videos that I want to end up shooting, and I may do it with my daughter's fiance's computer if he lets me build it. I may shoot a quick video on how to build a computer. So I may have a video coming up for something like that. But as far as like where do you go to learn to build these? Google search, YouTube. There are lots of tutorials out there for building computers. It's not super difficult. It's a little nerve-wracking when you do your first one, especially where you get to the point where you've got to like connect the pins on the header on your motherboard to your case and whatnot. And no, I haven't seen that one. That guy VR, I don't do it anymore. I don't do that unless it's somebody I personally know. Especially shipping to Canada, because now you're shipping out of the country, and that's a whole different beast right there, shipping out of the country. And I don't even want to. I'm not trying to sound cruel or anything like that. I don't even want to get involved in something like that right now. No way. International shipping, no. But the best thing I can suggest for you is do YouTube searches, do Google searches on how to build PCs. There's lots of good resources out there. I'm going to be doing a video maybe at some point in time here on like a really stripped down, like, I want to be able to teach things to people no matter their skill level, no matter their experience. I don't want to talk down to people, but I also don't want to sit here and use jargon that nobody's going to understand. So I want to make it, like we're having a conversation in my living room, and then I'm talking to you, walking you through on how to do this. Yeah, Reddit though, Reddit's a place. Reddit's a place.
Fantastic.
And I would take it with a grain of salt.
Or if you're just here for some lighthearted banter. I'm all
go
ears.
through on Reddit. But as far as where to buy your parts, go to you can either go to microcenter.com or you go to newegg.com. You can virtually build your stuff there. Check out pcpartspicker.com and virtually put it together, make sure everything's compatible, make sure that you're buying the right power supply for your computer, because you don't want to put all this great stuff in here and then not give it enough power to run. That's a problem. So, but yeah. And like I said, I've been building computers for over 20 years. I bought my first computer and there was a problem with the motherboard, and I spent 6 hours on the phone with HP tech support, and I will never, ever, ever do that again. And that's what got me into building my own computers, was I was never going to go through that again. So I build all my own computers. I've been building them, like this is my 6th or 7th computer that I put together now. 6th or 7th, including the gaming computer. But honestly, they're not super hard, but I know what it's like to build it that first time when you've never done it before. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very, you're afraid that, you just spent all this money on these electronic components and you're going to break something at that point. So that's always tough. All right. Let's see here. Terror Destroyer, thank you for stopping by. You have a 1984 Amstrad word processor? Dear God. It's like having a TSR 80 or Commodore 64 or something. let me see here. If you posted a question and I haven't gotten to it yet, please repost your question. I'm trying to scroll back through chat and catch everything, and yeah. Kat, I know that you had asked something at one point in time about streaming. Did you actually have a question about streaming? Was that a serious question, or was that just like one of those, like, I'm just kind of kidding around kind of things? Godzilla, you built your first two PCs, gave up and bought a new one a few weeks ago. Yeah, I won't buy a pre-built personally. That's just me. Like, that's my personal thing, is I won't buy a pre-built anymore. Now that I have built so many of my own, there's no point. The RAM? What are you talking about, Blue? The RAM. So, Buttons, what was this computer building video for the... Oh, was this... Hold on. From The Verge. Was this the ones where they were, like, cutting the pins off of a processor or cutting a notch in the RAM to make it fit on the new board when it wasn't the right... Oh, if that's what you're talking about, man. Oh, that gave me some heebie-jeebies. Let me tell you. Heebie to the GB. It seriously did. If that's what you're talking about, oh, that's some nasty stuff. Got an ad going on, so we'll kind of pause these things a little bit while the ads are going on for those who are not subscribed. We'll let the ads end first before I continue on. Depending on how the questions are going, we may, like if nobody's got any more questions, then we'll kind of pivot to some Schedule 1. I said something to my daughter about running a joint shop. So maybe we might start that tonight. I don't know. It depends on how the questions run. But I'm going to wait for the ads to end so that I can answer Kit Kat Worlds here, their statement. Let me think. What else? Yeah, the whiteboard app is kind of nice. I like it. I think my pen's a little bit too sensitive, and I gotta cut down on the sensitivity of my pen. Novo pen setting. Pen tip sensitivity. Let's cut that back a little bit. See if that makes. Or maybe it's the settings on this. You know what I mean? Oops, not that far. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, come on now. Pure canvas. Yeah, I gotta work on the pen sensitivity there. Back from ads. Welcome back. Nope, we waited for you. Don't worry. Don't worry, Kit Kat. We waited for you.
I've got like general questions about streaming, but I think most of it is things that I'm just going to have to figure out as I go.
So what is your general questions on streaming? Like what kind of questions do you have? Because I've been doing this for 5 years now. And I like to think, while verbal does suck from time to time, I like to think I kinda know what I'm doing sometimes. Sometimes. Not every time. But if you've got a particular question, I mean, I'm all ears. Same thing for anybody else. Like if you need, if you've got any questions that you want to ask for tech related, please drop it in chat here and I will answer what I can answer. I do like the delay though between when I say something and when it actually, kind of goes through. Like when they type back. Look at Buttons. I love you, Buttons. Shit, why didn't it
Should I get a new router? Is there a benefit to have my own?
So, new router. Depends on the router that you currently have. If you've had your router for 5 years or something like that, yeah. yeah, you could definitely get a new router. With the advent of 6E wireless and now 7E wireless coming and devices that can actually use it, like I know for a fact my iPhone can use 6E Wi-Fi, which my router currently broadcasts on if I set it up. Plus, depending on the router that you get, you might get a better throughput on your internet speeds and your wireless speeds. If you've got a router that's just delivering 150 millibits per second and you get one that's 300 millibits per second, well, right there, you're already like doubling your wireless speed that you can, you know, work off of. Things like 2.5 gigahertz ports on the back of your router have only become common in the past couple years. Before they were just straight gig ports. And that's the internet coming into your router. So if you've got fiber, you want to have as fast of a connection coming into your router as possible. So yeah, it could definitely benefit you in upgrading your router. And the benefits of having your own is, first off, you own that router. That is your router, right? In all of my years, I may, unless I was looking to upgrade my router just because I wanted it to be faster or more features or it, you know, I've only replaced one router that has died. And to be honest with you, I'm still not 100% sure it's dead. I think I may have borked a setting, right? It may have been my fault. But in all the years that I've been, you know, doing my own networking and whatnot, I have bought 3 routers, I think it is. My most recent one is a TP-Link. It looks like a fucking spaceship. It's got like 8 antennas on it and whatnot. It's ridiculous. But hold on. Goodbye, sir. Get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. We don't do that kind of shit here. But yeah, so the benefit is that you have a lot more freedom in setting up your own settings, especially if you're looking to do like port forwarding, if you're looking to do routing, if you're looking to have, you know, specific scopes set up for your internal network, if you want to do reservations and whatnot. Some of these company routers that you get from Verizon or Xfinity or whatever, Blue Sky, whatever the hell, Clear Choice or whatever internet provider that you have, some of those give you limited functionality in what you can do with your wireless router. Okay. Having your own means that it's yours. You do with it what you need to do. I've always been on the side of own your own equipment. Plus, you're not paying any kind of rental fee. I know with Xfinity, it's like a $14 a month rental fee. Now, granted, if something happens to it, they replace it. But I've only ever had to replace one dead router. And again, I'm not 100% sure it's dead. Might have been my fault. So you're paying a rental fee for something that within, what did I work it out to be? 2 years? 2 years, 2.5 years? If you have it for more than 2 or 2.5 years, you're basically throwing money away at that point in time. Because that's the amount of time based upon the rent that you could have purchased your own. And you're still paying on this piece of equipment. Now, if you're okay with that, then just do that. But having your own router gives you a little bit more freedom of setting things up within your network the way that you want them set up. If you don't care, if you don't do port forwarding, if you don't do any kind of routing, if you don't do any kind of address reservations, then there is no need. Use what you've been, and you're okay with paying a rental fee. Just use what you've been using. The only time I would ever say that you would need to upgrade your router is if you are noticing the fact that you are having some serious lag issues. And you're only really going to notice that over wireless, not wired, because all routers should have like a 1 gig port. So if you're wired into your router, or you're wired into a switch and then that switch goes to your router, then you're not going to notice anything on a wired connection. The only thing that you're going to notice is on a wireless connection. Or if you're getting to the point where you're having too many wireless devices in your home because you have a smart home and you have all of the smart things, all of the Internet of Things are attached in your home and you're running out of bandwidth basically from your router to handle all these devices, and some of those devices are lagging, then that's when you would need to upgrade. But, you know, it's all a personal choice if I'm being completely honest with you. So, hopefully that helped. Let's see here. KitKat.
Which streaming software would you recommend?
What streaming software would I recommend? Okay, so there is 2 that I would recommend. Do not, underline, bold, highlight it. Do not get Streamlabs. Okay? Don't. Streamlabs is worthless. It's not worth it. This is actually a good suggestion here that I'm going to be putting in to, I always talk about these videos. I always talk about these videos that I'm shooting, and I gotta sit down and actually shoot them. Software. So this is what I suggest. Two programs that I suggest. One of them is relatively new. So firstly, there is a new streaming software called Meld Studio. If you go to meldstudio.co, you can find this, or just Google search Meld Studio. Okay. Meld Studio it's super streamlined, it's super easy, it's super simplistic. This is great for brand new streamers. Brand new streamers who have never done this before, have no idea what the look of their stream is going to be. That's what this is for, okay? This gives you a lot of integrated effects that make sense to have within this program. There's supposed to be some plugins coming out for it later. It's a very simplified... Meld, M-E-L-D Studio, Meld Studio. It is very simplified. This is great for brand new streamers. You've never done this before, you don't know what you're doing, and you want to get started. You want to be able to just set up a really simple looking stream with a couple cool effects and start streaming. That is what this program right here is great for. Downsides of this program. You're going to outgrow it quickly, first off. All of your transitions between all of your scenes, you notice how some of my transitions, I have a stinger that comes in place. I have a stinger that comes in with my logo and it does a little circle thing and then it you know, pushes the next scene behind it out. Or I have the little slide one like this right here where I can slide back and forth. You can only have one type of transition with Meld that goes across all of your scenes. So you pick one and that's what you live with for your entirety of Meld Studio, okay? They also don't offer a lot of plugins that are compatible with Meld at this time, but this is also brand new software. So that could change in the future, that could expand. Who knows? But I really feel like this is a program that's great to start off with as a new beginner, but you are going to quickly outgrow it. Very quickly. The one that I do suggest 100%, the one that I currently use, and I have been using my entire streaming career so far, is OBS Studio. Now, OBS Studio is a little not so friendly all the time. Okay? There's a lot of things that are hidden behind, like way behind different, it's where Meld Studio is great for new users, and it gives you a lot of features right up front, and it's very intuitive to use. OBS Studio is definitely the more serious streaming software. OBS has a lot of plugins that you can add that do all kinds of different effects within your stream. It has the most the largest community right now. Like, if there's something that you're looking for to do, I mean, for instance, my little zoom in thing here is a JavaScript program that runs within OBS that allows me to not only, you know, zoom in, but I can lock in so I can move my cursor around. This is great for when I want to showcase something, when I want to, you know, bring attention to something here. Meld cannot do something like this. There's also there's a bunch of features that OBS could definitely do that Meld cannot, and there's a lot more integration from other programs into OBS that isn't there yet with Meld. I would highly suggest, in my personal opinion, unless it's the kind of stream where you're just looking to set up a camera, set up a game scene, and that's all that you're doing, then go with Meld. If you're looking to have a full-fledged stream, something a little bit more robust, then I would absolutely 100% go with OBS. And I'm going to show you here what a real basic looking... Shit, did I never put up... Are you kidding me? Alright, let me find this. I need to find the one. There it is. So, copy. I also don't know 100% if there is support for, like, Stream Deck with Meld. I know that there is support with OBS, but I don't know if there is support with Stream Deck. Okay, so you don't want to... Not gonna work there. Okay, stop yelling at me. My God. Let me try it with this one then. If you're going to set up OBS though, and I wish I would have... did this from the very start. But if you're going to set up OBS, I would suggest setting it up as a portable within its own folder. So that way, if you need to back it up, it's easier to back up. So if you get like me, where your stream is huge and convoluted, and you have all these little special things set up all over the place to do kind of special things, you don't have to worry about if your computer ever melts, that you have to rebuild your entire stream again. Because that's a pain in the ass. And I know Boomer's done it a number of times, and that's not something that I ever want to do, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't ever want to have to rebuild my entire stream, because I'm going to lose so much stuff that I don't want to lose. So this is just the basic look of OBS right now. This is my recording for when I do my my IT videos and whatnot. It's very simple. It's got, you know, a couple different scenes here. It's got a couple different resources. Here, let me zoom in on this. There's a couple different resources. There's a couple different scenes here. None of the cameras are active because the cameras are currently being used by my other OBS program. You've got, you know, space for your audio and whatnot. Typically there would be a camera here along with the desktop, but all that's being used by my other program. It's very easy. It's very simple. There's a go live button, start streaming, and then you go live. You do some setups in the background. The thing that I said, which is a real pain sometimes with OBS, is just the fact that, you know, the settings, there's so much that you have to set up. So you've got, like, you have your stream information. If you're streaming to Twitch or, you know, whatever, there's all your output. So you're setting up your output. If you're recording, you got different settings for your output. All this looks like foreign and whatnot, and it looks like it's a huge, complete pain in the ass. There are so many tutorials out there for setting up OBS. And a lot of these settings too, like your stream settings, like your output settings, your audio settings, your video settings, all this stuff is set it and forget it. Once you set it up the first time, you should not have to ever come back in here again and mess around with anything, as long as everything's functioning properly. The biggest thing that you're going to be setting up is out here. Is out here in your scenes, in your sources, in your audio. That's what you're going to be setting up a lot of. And then there's all kinds of plugins and widgets and whatnot that you can put into OBS that make it do all kinds of, you know, cool, fun things. Like, this is going to get a little Inception right now, so I'm going to apologize for that right now. But this is what my current OBS looks like. Okay? So I've got my vertical over here. I've got my main screen over here. I've got my vertical sources. I have my live scenes, and then behind that are all my sources for each of my scenes that I have, all my audio bits that I have. So this is what my OBS ends up looking like. But not only do I have this, right? But how good of a PC would this be? This is a pretty decent PC. I also have an editing dock that changes. So when I'm doing editing, this is all the stuff I need for editing. And then I also have a dashboard dock, which this gives me all of my information for streaming and all my redemptions and my ad break stuff and whatnot. So this is a plugin that I added in that allows me to save these different layouts. And this is how complex you can get. I mean, if you want to be honest here, if you look over here on this side, these are all the scenes that I have. These are all of the scenes. Now, these are not all scenes that I actively use. Like just these top section here, these are my active scenes, but then these are all resources. So I have cameras set up, I have utilities set up, I have browser scenes set up. So all of the things that function on my stream live somewhere over here in this list. And that's how everything occurs on this stream. So you can get as simple or as crazy as you want to get with OBS. And it's good. It's good. So, oh, I can't have her speaking in my ear all this stuff right now.
Or ATX power supply Microsoft Windows Home OEM. DVD 64-bit Corsair Vengeance RGB 32.
Is literally just speaking all that into my ear right now. I can't take that. I can't concentrate. And like Boomer said, 90% of streamers use OBS. So I would suggest to you, Kat, that look at both of them, Meld Studio and OBS. Decide which one feels right for you. But I'm gonna say that if you go with Meld at first, it's gonna be great for a while, but eventually you're gonna hit a wall where you're like, I want to do this thing and I can't do this thing because this program doesn't actually let me do it. And then you're going to come over to OBS and you're going to rebuild all of your stuff within OBS. I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything like that, but that's how I envision that. Meld is great for new users who are never going to touch their setup ever again. It's a great place to start. But when you get serious and you want to, make your stream look more, then it's going to be OBS. That's where I would start. How good of a PC would this be? AMD Ryzen 5 7600 4.66 core. It's not terrible. Liquid Freezer, Arctic Liquid Freezer? Oh, is that a fan or is that an AIO? Yeah, start with the yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to lean you one way or the other. If Meld Studio would have not come out recently, I would have told you right away, OBS Studio 100% all the way. Some of the setup might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but once you get it set up, it's good to go. But Meld is an option that's out there, and I don't want to just, immediately skew everybody to OBS because OBS isn't for some people. I've known people who started streaming on OBS and they didn't like the software at all, and they were just like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. B650 gaming plus, I hate the fact that they're including Wi-Fi on desktop motherboards all the time now. It's so dumb. So dumb. RTX 4060 is a good choice. Ryzen 5 isn't terrible, but if you can go 7, I would go 7. You'll get more performance out of the 7 than the 5. You're going to find that in that particular PC, your bottleneck is going to be that Ryzen 5. Tower doesn't really matter. Tower's whatever you want. 750 watt is probably good for that entire setup. Windows, if you're going to do Microsoft Windows 11, do Pro. Actually, I highly suggest no matter what you do, if it's anything Windows, go Pro. Pro will get you the ability to run more RAM than Home will. Home, although I'm not 100% sure if it's the same with 11 or not. I haven't looked up the specs on 11 Home because I don't care about 11 Home. But I do know that like with XP Home versus Pro and Windows 10 Home versus Pro, Home had a limitation on the amount of RAM that you can run, and Pro did not. Well, I mean, the limitation was whatever your motherboard could handle at that point. Whereas I think like XP Home had like a top of 16 gig of RAM, and Pro had a top of like 128 gig of RAM or something like that.
Sorry, I'm not on Discord. Just here to keep things lively on Verbal.
Can I get you
What
on
can I help
Discord
you
by
with today?
any chance? Yeah, you can join my Discord at any point. There's a link down below, or if you type in !Discord, you should get, or not a link down below. You're on YouTube. You're not on Twitch. If you type in !Discord, it should give you the link for my Discord. And then you can join the Discord. We could chat in there at some point in time. That only popped it over here on Twitch. There, Boomer. Hold on. Let me do it. I'll pop it in both places at the same time. Or actually, I'll pop it into YouTube. Or maybe not. Yeah, I shouldn't be a problem. Here, let me copy the link. There's the link for my Discord. There you go. But it's 2K, 32 gig of RAM, an M2. What's the? Oh, it's a 2 terabyte M2 drive. Yeah, that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. That's pretty decent. I don't know if it's like 2K worth price. Like, I would individually look for those parts if you can. I mean, unless you're looking to buy it pre-built. Like, if you're looking to buy it pre-built, then that's, that's what that's going to be. If you're looking to build it yourself, then I would definitely shop the parts. But just by glancing through what all that is, it looks pretty decent. It'll definitely get you where you're going. I would just say that AM5 or that AMD Ryzen 5 is going to be your bottleneck. If you can take it up to a 7, then do it. Yeah, take your parts. Yeah, go to PCPartsPicker.com and plug all those parts in. Just make sure they're all compatible. Otherwise, it looks good. All right. Let's see. Was there any other questions? How long did it take me to make my first Godzilla?
How long did it take for you to make your first million?
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I've never made a million. Maybe over my entire lifetime, yeah, but no. For you and the custom PC you had built, $500 difference was worth the peace of mind and warranties. Yeah. No, I can see that. It's not so much like a control issue. At least I don't think it's a control issue. Maybe it is a control issue. I don't know. Maybe I have a control issue. But I like to pick the pieces for my PC. I like to know what I'm putting into it. And I like to know everything that's in there, so that if I have issues, I know where to look for that. Now that could also be the IT side of me talking, because I can troubleshoot better when I know what's in the computer. If I don't know what's in the computer, I can troubleshoot, but until I find out everything that's already in there, sometimes it's gonna be shooting in the dark. You know what I mean? But also the bad experience I had with HP, back in the late 90s. And the fact that I had to sit on the phone for 6 hours with... Have I ever told you this story? I'm pretty sure I've told this story before. How I got into IT, I had purchased one of those combo PCs from Walmart, like Black Friday, computers. My wife at the time and I, my ex-wife at the time, and my ex-wife currently. My ex-wife and I bought the computer for the house. It was an HP Pavilion. It was an Intel Celeron processor. Okay, it wasn't even a Pentium. It was an Intel Celeron processor. It was running ME, if I'm not mistaken, because that's all that was out at the time. No, maybe we might have gotten 98. I don't remember. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In any case, bought this computer. We mostly played Sims on it, like Sims 2. And one day, I went to turn it on, and all I got was the HP blue screen. I already lost. Yeah, exactly. I went to turn it on, and all I got was the was the HP blue screen. And ads are gonna be starting here in a couple seconds. Hold on, I'll hold up on this story until then. Blue, are you still here? Blue, are you still here, Blue? Cat, not yet. Oh wait, Cat's not here. The cat's gonna be in ads here shortly too. I think the ads are kicking off. Did the ads already hit? I don't think they did. I didn't get the pop-up for it. All right. Well, in any case, I'll talk until I see the ad pop up. So I turned it on one day and got the blue HP screen, and it wouldn't get off the blue HP screen, and it just sat there like that. So I contacted customer service, and they put me in contact eventually after a bunch of roundabout freaking things. No, don't worry about it, Cat. No, you don't have to sub. It's fine. You're good. Eventually I got to HP tech support, and I got somebody who didn't exactly speak English well. There's the ads. We'll wait for the ads to end. We'll wait for the ads to end. Lou, are you still here? I guess I could check the active list. It does not show her. She is not active in my feed. That's fine. Commercial Ed! I know. We got ads running. I see it. Right there. What is the ad? So over on Twitch, VR Guy, when you are affiliated, as I am on Twitch, and, you know, you can monetize your channel and everything, Twitch, one of the ways that Twitch offsets a lot of the costs is they run ads on your channel. So you can kind of like set up like the interval and how long the ads are going to run for. The way that I have mine set up is every 30 minutes it runs a 90-second ad, or 90 seconds worth of ads. This way I can ensure that, or at least it's supposed to ensure that when new viewers drop into my stream, they're not hit with what's called a pre-roll ad, which is like an ad at the very beginning of your stream. When you first drop into a streamer's stream on Twitch, you can potentially see an ad right away and not be able to see their content. So my plan is run 90 seconds of ads every 30 minutes so that when somebody brand new stops by and to check out what the channel's about and whatnot, they're actually able to see what's going on without getting hit with an ad right out the gate. So it's how Twitch monetizes and helps offset the costs of streaming on this platform. It's something similar to YouTube, where YouTube takes your videos and they insert ads into your videos, like your long-term videos. Same concept. It's just I don't think YouTube does ads on I don't think YouTube does ads on live streams. If you don't mind me asking, how much do you get an ad? Like 3 cents. It's seriously not. The ad revenue is not. Like, they do share ad revenue with streamers, and depending on how much ads that you run, so I think where I'm set, where it's 90 seconds of ads every 30 minutes, it's like a 50-50 share. And honestly, I think my best month, I might have made like $7 in ads for that month. It is not. It's I make more money from subscriptions and from donations than I do from any ad revenue at all. Okay, everybody's back. So turn the computer on. got the blue HP screen. Reset the computer, got the blue HP screen. Couldn't get anywhere. Contacted HP customer service. They put me in touch with tech support, and I got basically talking to somebody who did not speak English as a first language. So I literally sat on the phone with him for 6 hours, going over every possible scenario to get this thing to boot up beyond the blue screen. You know, it was a whole lot of, you know, do this, restart the machine. What do you see? I see a blue HP screen. Okay, do this, restart the PC. What do you see? I see a blue HP screen. And then there was a lot of putting me on hold, I guess, so they could go check their manual or something, or confer with another tech or something. It was literally 6 hours worth of bullshit. And finally turned out that after that amount of time on the phone, they determined that the motherboard in the computer, now we had owned this computer so far for like 2 months now, something like that. It wasn't very long at all. It turned out that the motherboard was faulty. They were going to send me a new tower. All I had to do was take out the hard drive and swap the hard drive over, and then ship back the faulty tower. So that took like another couple weeks for the tower to arrive. Finally arrived. I did the swap over of the hard drive. Never done that before in my entire life. Never even cracked a computer open before in my entire life until that day. And then I shipped it back, and everything worked great. Everything was fine. Ran that computer into the ground for 3 years longer, right? It was great. But I was pissed off at having to spend all that time with tech support on the phone. And I kept trying to tell them, look, something is not functioning right. You're having me go through all these steps. I understand you're following a script, but it's not functioning. It won't get past the post screen. It won't boot. Nothing boots. I could have ended that conversation 5 hours earlier. If I could have, I would have been fine. I would have never gotten into IT. But here I am 6 hours later, and I'm like, I'm never going to spend time like this on the phone with tech support ever again. Ever. I will figure out how to do this shit myself. So that's when I worked at Walmart at the time, and that's when we got a return back of one of these Black Friday PCs, and somebody had stripped most of the shit out of it, and they still returned it, and they still got their money back. Video card was missing, RAM was missing, something else was wrong with it. I think the hard drive was damaged or something like that. I bought that PC for like $100 with the intention of buying a broken PC. And then I spent the next 6 or 8 months fixing it, or figuring out how to fix it. Figuring out what parts were, and what did they do, and where did they go, and what parts can I put into this PC, and are these the right ones that I'm buying? Because what is RAM, and why are there so many different versions of RAM, and why am I buying the right kind of RAM? Like, there was a lot of trial and error that went on in those 6 to 8 months, but I eventually got it to the point where I repaired the PC, got it up and running, and it was amazing. And it was a great feeling. And I was like, I want to do more of this. So, is this what I do now in IT? Sort of. I work for a corporation, so I'm in corporate IT. We have lots of policies and procedures to follow, and there's lots of red tape and spending budgets and all that other fun shit. But I am a tier 2 help desk. I'm an on-site admin. So the office that I work in, I am the person that people go to. They submit a ticket. They're supposed to submit a ticket. They're not supposed to come to me directly. They're supposed to submit. Did you open a ticket? They're supposed to submit a ticket, and then we go and fix the problem. Sometimes if it's a break fix kind of thing where, we got to replace a laptop or a printer or something like that, that's what we take care of. Or if it's, hey, my Outlook updated and now I can't find this one special button in my Outlook that I have always used and it has now moved or disappeared or something, bring it back. We take care of stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm an on-site level 2 admin. That's what I do. You're like a T4 and you do the hypervisor storage data center stuff. Yeah, we do. I mean, that's our global IT team. That's global IT. That's the one who takes care of like those teams. They take care of like the entire corporation. They do a lot of the layer 3 switch stuff. They do all of the backups, all of the data center stuff. They're the ones pushing down policies to all of us, or updating policies, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. Doing USB exclusions or removals on machines through policy. They do all that kind of stuff. That's our global IT team. And we have several teams within global IT, which all focus on particular things. Like we have a global telecoms team, we have a global AX team, we have a global infrastructure team, global corp security, you know, all that kind of stuff. Y'all old enough to work? Damn. What do you mean I'm old enough to work? I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Let me tell you that right now. What kind of LED lights do I have back there? Those are Govee. I love Govee, by the way. Those are Govee lights. It's a what's the length? 65-foot LED strip, and I have them contained within a aluminum diffuser. So it's an aluminum frame with a plastic curved frosted cover. So it's not bright, you know, harsh lights. It kind of diffuses a little bit, so it looks better. But yeah, those are Govee. I don't remember the exact model that I have. I got them off of Amazon. They are the RGB-IC lights, so they are app controlled. They can be controlled by Alexa. So I can, you know, turn them on, turn them off. They've got a wonderful app that sits on my phone that I can change the colorations of them. So, you know, I've got an app on my phone for them. So if I want to change this to be like all rainbow colored, I can hit this, and then that'll change to a rainbow pattern behind me. But yeah, I have them in there. I have Govee lights there. I have Govee lights in the bookcase right down there. Those are Govee lights. And then the outer perimeter of my studio, not the center part, but the outer part of the studio, those are also like those right there. That thing right there. Those are Govee lights too. In my ceiling. It was just easier to work all within the same ecosphere, or as much as possible. It's like when I say, you know, like when you start buying streaming equipment, you know what I mean? Like you get what you can afford initially, and you should get what you can afford. Don't like think that you need to get like the highest end freaking camera when you first start streaming or anything like that. Like that's stupid. Don't buy the expensive stuff if you can't afford the expensive stuff. But when I started getting to the point where I could put a little money into my equipment, I started getting a lot of Elgato stuff. And like my lights, my two cameras, my mic arm, the XLR interface. I've got two stream decks like that. I got a pedal. I'm within the Elgato ecosphere, and it's just easier to work within that in that entire ecosphere. Can we get a studio? Oh, can we get a studio tour? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can get a studio tour. Hold on, let me get the wireless mic. Let me get that hooked up. Because that way, as I walk around, I don't have to like scream at my microphone. Alright. Studio tour. Sure, we could do that real quick. Let's do this. Okay, so if you're on the YouTube vertical, it's going to be weird because you're going to see me down below as well as this right here. Oh wait. Switch my microphone. There we go. To the wireless microphone. Okay, so you want a studio tour. I gotta make sure I'm not going to trip over anything. So this right here is the command center. So I've got 4 monitors, 2 key lights. There's a camera up here, camera there. There's a camera in that prompter. And then of course the 2 key lights. and the bitchin' PC. All that is set up on a 6-foot desk that is liftable. So it's got a little button there, and I can lower and raise the desk as needed. Inside that room there is my network closet. So this is where all the magic happens. That's where all the magic. It's all the magic. So that's my network rack right there. Plex server, NAS server, test server, wireless router up top. I told you my wireless router has got like 800 freaking antennas on it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the network. The network closet. And also a place to store spare gear. And more spare gear. But yeah, and then I've got, collectibles and whatnot all around the room. I know.
Looks
I
like
know.
someone's not ready to embrace their inner clean
comic book
freak.
collection.
Just remember, dust bunnies make terrible pets.
No, dust bunnies are the best pets. Behind that right there is actually my electrical panel. I had to hide my electrical panel. But we got all this stuff, 3D printer, DJ equipment down here at the end, Star Wars figures galore. There's Phil. Say hi, Phil. Hi, Phil. My heater AC unit for this room, which is very important. Another shelf full of stuff. Like one of my favorite figures right now, Cringer and He-Man. Although they look weird under these lights, so. And then the Lego Atari that we built. You buy all of these figures for $25? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. Besides, I'm not selling anyway. You missed the figures that are hanging out back here. Got some McFarlane stuff. I've even got old bendies. Star Wars bendies. Soundwave? Yeah. So there's that's a 3D printed Soundwave right there. And then I've got the Pop Soundwave. Big Pop Soundwave. But if you're talking, oh yeah, and this whole shelving unit right here, this one's new. He's my favorite too. He's been my favorite for a while. I actually want to buy the helmet. I want the helmet. But I have my original 1980 whatever the hell it is Soundwave right there. Yeah, and then there's this display cabinet that's got, tons of Star Wars stuff in it. My entire Trooper shelf, my Transformer shelf, my He-Man shelf, and then my original He-Man. Yep, I'm a nerd. And then behind my setup is more Star Wars figures and pops and all that good stuff. Which cables are you asking about? That guy. How do I hide what cables? I mean, if you look underneath my desk, it's kind of messy with cables, but most of my cables are actually like contained in a cable rack underneath my desk. So I try to keep cabling down as much as possible. And then the brand new pop-up green screen to replace the busted one that I have with the busted pistons. I love this green screen so much. It's lighter. It's so much easier to work with. There's no pistons. But yeah, this is the I've got sound foam above me to help cut down on the echoing. Oh, the LED. The LED. What? So the LED is actually. So it starts here in the corner, right up there, and I actually have. There's the control panel for it, but it runs off of Wi-Fi as well, and then it runs down here to a plug in my side table. So that's that one. and then it just runs around the room. I'm really big on cable management. I really am really big about hiding cables so that, you don't have like tons of cables running all over the place. But like all the ceiling lights, they're all Wi-Fi controllable, color changing. Yeah. It's some good stuff. That's the room. That's the studio tour. There we go. Now we return you back to your regularly scheduled program. Of all the weird stuff. But yeah, that's the studio tour. It's taken me a while. I actually, when we bought this house, this was just a frame, and it was half this size. Is that in the basement? You bet it gets warm? No, actually it gets cold as shit in here. During the winter, it's cold as hell. During the summer, it's warm as hell. That's why I got the heater in the AC unit. When we bought this house, the room was only about half size. So like right about like, see, excuse me. You see where the neon sign is? Like right before that, right there at the corner of the pop wall, that extended over. And that was the original frame. And when we bought this house, I spent 5 weeks, I think it was, renovating the entire garage and this space here to make it an office. And then last year, I got the idea that I was going to redo my ceiling because it was just drywall ceiling is what I put up originally. But we were going to have fiber run into the house, and I needed to run it through the ceiling, and I couldn't get access to the ceiling. So I decided I wanted to redo my entire ceiling with these panels that I can remove. So the recessed panels I can actually take out and get access to the rafters again. And in the process of doing that, I also realized that I needed to add heating and cooling down here because the solution that I had put in place, which was basically a space heater, was not working. So I needed to get a window unit, but I had no window. So I tore out the garage door that was down here at the end of the studio here. Tore out the garage door, built a brand new wall, put a window in place, extended the wall over here, tore down the wall that was here, had to redo my flooring because half of it was laminate flooring and the other half was not. So I had to pull up some of it, and it's not even that, like, it's laminate flooring that all like clicks together and like, snaps down then basically. So I had to like tear apart half of the flooring and bring it back so I could add the new pieces in place. Did all the drywalling, did all the electrical, ran network cables, finished the ceiling, painted, insulated everything. It's got rock wool insulation in the walls and the ceiling. So rock wool insulation is a good sound absorber insulation. It's not soundproofing, but it's sound absorbing. So that way when I get loud down here when I'm playing video games or whatnot, or I'm streaming, and I'm reacting to video games, because directly above me, back corner over here is the master bedroom, bathroom is over here, and I think I'm underneath a part of the kitchen as well. So that when I'm down here and I'm, getting loud and whatnot, it doesn't necessarily disturb my wife terribly much. Whereas before where we lived, I was streaming out of our kitchen with a green screen that surrounded me in a half circle. And she could clearly hear me no matter where she was in the house. Moving day is going to suck? Not so much. To be honest with you, though, I'm not looking to move out of this house. I think this is our forever home. So, when we have plans for when my boys get old enough and they move out of the house. My wife is going to take my one son's room and turn it into move her office from down in our rec room to up in an actual room, and then possibly do something with my youngest son's room, either make it a guest room or something else. And then I get full spread of our rec room, so I can, move some stuff out that I've been wanting to. I still got stuff in boxes. Like this room is not enough to contain all my stuff. How have I had this channel for 4 years but only 500 subs? That's a great question. That is a wonderful Born Joker. I don't know. Mainly because of the fact that I was doing more Twitch streaming than YouTube. The YouTube streaming has only been going on for, let me think. I started doing the vertical streaming on YouTube and YouTube Shorts Live. I think right around the time that they released it, so like maybe a year. And then the horizontal YouTube stream just started within the past month. But I've been streaming here on Twitch for like 5 years now. I used to put up regular videos on YouTube, like build videos for Valheim, but I kind of got out of Valheim a little bit, and I've been struggling on like what kind of videos. Well, okay, so I know the videos I want to make, but I've been struggling with the ADHD to actually get the motivation to get them done. That's my That's my real problem. It's not an excuse. It's just an explanation. So, that's what I've really been struggling with more than anything else.
Okay, indeed. Anything specific on your mind, or just soaking in the ambiance?
Verbot, thank you. It's freaking Verbot. Yeah, so like, I've been wanting to try to kind of grow the IT videos a little bit better, where I do stuff like this, where I can talk very plainly to people. That's really what I want to do. I want to explain things very plainly to people so that they don't have to worry about being afraid of their tech or not knowing what they're doing or you know, being afraid of trying something new. And I've got like 4 or 5 video ideas in my head right now of videos I want to do. But it's more getting that motivation to get those things done. Getting the inspiration, getting the oomph behind me to actually get them done. Now, the bot's not a problem. Actually, the bot responds appropriately. The Verbot is good. Verbot only replies to about 2% of messages, typically, unless you address Verbot directly. If you at Verbot 9000 and ask him a question, he will answer. But the bot itself has been dialed in pretty decently to where it only responds to about 2% of messages, depending on how they're coming through. So the bot's not the problem. The bot's funny. The bot's got a lot of my personality in it, so it's fun. Let's see here. Any other questions that are out there for anything tech related? Anything, you know, computer related, video game, streaming related, you know. I just did a studio tour here, so somebody asked for a studio tour. Any other questions? I like to think that, I was able to actually answer, you know, the serious ones anyway. As best as I can. I don't know. We'll do these from time to time. As people have more questions, you know, it might be a once a month thing or a once every couple month thing, where we'll do a tech talk instead of a normal stream. Because I think it helps with some questions that people may have. I answered a bunch of good ones tonight, though. I'll tell you that much. Some of those were good questions. I like that. Blue, if you're still here, I don't think you're still here. No, I think Blue's gone. We were gonna, if the questions died down, we were gonna play a little Schedule 1, but do it as a joint effort. So my daughter and I we're gonna start our own empire business in Schedule 1 together. But I think we will probably do that another day. Maybe we'll do that sometime this weekend. Maybe we'll do that sometime this weekend. But this is probably a good place. Questions seem to have died down a little bit. This probably is a good place to end the stream. You know, a little early, and that's fine. That's okay. Normally I stream until midnight, so this is probably a good place to call it an evening. So yeah, join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Unfortunately, this is a Twitch-only stream tomorrow morning, as we do Saturday morning cartoons, where we sit down, we watch classic 80s and 90s cartoons and discuss them, or the toy lines, or whatever it is that you want to discuss, and we have breakfast together and whatnot. Join me for that tomorrow morning here at twitch.tv/verbal_RD. If you're interested in watching Saturday morning cartoons again, come and join us. It's a good time. It really is. It's a whole vibe. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing it for 103rd, I think this is the 138th episode of Saturday morning cartoons that we're doing. So we do them every Saturday morning, unless there's some kind of major thing that comes up. Every Saturday morning from 9 until noon. And then keep an eye out over the weekend. See if maybe we're going to start a joint business venture. Daddy-daughter Doobies Incorporated in Schedule 1. I don't know what we're going to call it. But whatever. If you see a notification about me going live or something like that, if you follow the channel or if you've subscribed, stop on by, say hi, see what we're doing. It should be some fun times this weekend. I do have a Saturday project to do, but possibly Sunday. We might do a little bit of streaming on Sunday. And then I'm back again on Monday evening, Monday at 9 p.m. on both YouTube and Twitch. We'll be playing, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or maybe some Schedule 1. Or there's a new one that I have that I've been messing around with a little bit called Blueprints. It's kind of a fun game. It's a weird one, but it's a fun game. So maybe we'll take a look at that too. But thank you everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for all of the questions. I really do appreciate it. If you have more questions, you can always hit me up on my Discord. There's a link somewhere for my Discord. If you're on YouTube, if you type in, well, I don't know now because that wasn't working. I tried typing that in earlier and it didn't work. Yeah, there's links on my, I think on my YouTube channel for my Discord. I think I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look at that. But in any case, join the Discord. If you have any other questions that you need to ask, you can always ask questions in there, or wait till I go live the next time and drop one into chat and ask your question. And if I can, I'll answer it at that time. Or if not, then we'll save it up and we'll do another Tech Talk. So I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I didn't clip anything because this wasn't a stream to clip thing, so nothing got really clipped. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow morning for Saturday morning cartoons. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you next time.